Hello class. In last video, I demonstrated how to UV mapping and texturing the house. And this is the end result from last class. And I said the texture is raw, it's very rough. And then in this lesson, we're going to dive into the texturing part. And we're going to create a customized texturing. And at the end of this video, you'll have a detailed texture for the roof and for the side of the wall. And as you can see, if I turn on the lighting mode, and you can see on the roof we get these tiles, the bumps for the tiles, the tiles on the roof, and also have this shiny area for specularity, and this is for the side. See, we got these tiles and reflections, and we also created this moss texture and the signs for each of the wall. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. And here I will go to the demo file, and I will also hide these textures I just created for the preview. Okay, so here is where we left from last lesson, right? These texture files. And in last lesson, I did repeat the texture image. Let me show you in UV editor. See, let me take the roof as an example. This is the roof with the UV, right? However, when I apply its UV, the texturing, see, isolate, view selected. Okay. And let me also get to hypershade, rendering editor, hypershade, and roof. Okay, so this is the material we have used. So when we apply the texture to it, remember we have did repeat the UV, right? So we repeat the UV 6 times. Okay, so here if I do 8 times, I repeat the UV, the texture more times, so I have more details on the roof. Okay, so a lot of times this works and you'll have a detailed roof tile. Okay, and later on when you apply normal map to it, okay, so for example, if you grab a normal map and you note the image here. Since I haven't created a normal map, I'll just use the texture image as for demonstration. And you will also go to the UV coordinate and make sure you repeat the U and V as at the same number. Okay, otherwise the normal map and the texture map will not matching. So if you repeat the UV of the diffuse map, you have to do it for the normal map. Same thing for a specularity map. Okay, just let you know. Alright, so here I'll go back. Alright, so this is the advantage. Basically, you can just use a very small scale texture image. For example, here my texture image only have a, well, it's large, but see, for other textures, for example, the wood texture, it only have 850 pixels, right? However, I can have plenty of details on the model by repeat the texture. The disadvantage is you can't really create a very customized texture image. For example, if in this area I want to add a sign or I want to add some moss around the edge, well, you can create another layer of UV and apply a layered texture. Okay, so the layered texture, the second layer will be the moss. So that's another story. It's getting more complex, so I will not discuss about that direction. So to create a customized texture, we will not repeat the texture. So what we'll do is just use the traditional method, select this model, and then go to its UV editor, and we'll export this UV map. Okay, and then go to image, UV snapshot, export. And also when you export the UV, make sure you set the image format as a PNG, so it's a transparent background, edge color as a black color, so you have the black outline, the stroke for the UV, and this is the image dimension. Right, so now let me bring the UV in here. So this is the UV, and I create it, and I'll just rename it as a UV roof. And then we'll go to Photoshop, and we'll drop this image in Photoshop. Okay, so this is UV, and I'll name it UV roof as well here. And I'll create a new layer, place the new layer down below here, and choose a white color. Okay, and hit GK for bucket tool and fill color here, and rename it background. And then I'll select the UV roof. So same procedure, hit W key for a magic wand tool, where you can manually go here and click on an empty spot, and then go to select and modify and contract. Here we can put value as a 15, so we'll contract it by 15 pixels. So here we can see the selection is move away from the boundary of the UV, and we can create a new layer and hit G key for bucket tool, hit X key to switch the color palette, and just click on here to fill the gray color and rename it as mask. So this layer will be sit on the top, and will mask out any texture we put underneath it. Alright, so we'll select all these three layers and click on here, knock. So we'll knock all these layers. And the first thing we'll do is we'll drop in the here. We'll drop in the tire, this tire. Okay. However, instead of repeat the texture image here, we'll just repeat it here. So let's see. We'll come back here. So this is the texture image we have used, right, for the roof, and we'll drop it here, and I'll make it smaller. And it depends on how big you want each tile to be. Okay, so as you can see right now is a smart object, so you can hit Command T or just go back to edit and free transform, so you can adjust it again and hit return key to confirm the change. Okay, and then let's say if I want the tile to be this size, and then I hit return key and move it, place it around the bottom, and see here, these are the side faces, right? And we don't want the side faces be looking like this. If we switch back to Maya, and you can see the model, the side face looks really weird because the way we layer out the UV and the texture image, right? So here we need to create a customized texture for the side faces. So here we only put it on the top and bottom face, and then hold down Option key and use your mouse left key to drag it, and hold on Shift key to move it along the X-axis and put them together. See here you have a little bit gap, so I'll just move it a little bit to blend them together. See, this is the same as texture, so whenever I duplicate and I put them together, there's a no seam, right? You cannot see the boundary of it. Alright, so I'll put these 4, select all of these 4 and hit Command G to put it in the folder. And then I'll right click on this folder, and you can go all the way down for merge group, or you can just select this group and hit Command E. For Windows it is Control E. Alright, and then hit VK, and then hold on Option key to move it up, and hold on Shift key to make sure it's move up along the Y-axis. See here, it's also good, and we'll move it one more time. Looks good if I zoom in closer, see? Alright, and then we can select all these 3 layers and hit Command E to merge them together. Okay, and next step, we're going to figure out this part. So I will hit M key for selection tool, and here you can just click on here and go to rectangular tool, and we'll select this area and hit Command C, and then Command V for paste. Command C for copy, Command V for paste. Alright, and then we'll move it to here, and we'll rotate it along this axis. So this will be used for this tile. Okay, so you'll just make sure, on the UV you have this wireframe of the tile covered. Alright, and then we can select back this layer again and grab this area, Command C, copy, Command V, paste. On Windows, use Control C, Control V instead, and move it on top of another layer, right? Move it on top of another layer, and Command T for free transform, and then we'll make sure we covered the UV here. Okay, and let's see, to rotate a little bit, and then move it up. So I only have this vertical line in the UV, and hit return key to confirm the change. Alright, so now what I'll do is hit M key for this tool again, and then come here. See, this is the boundary of the UV, so I will select this area. Actually, I'll make a bigger area and make sure this selection area is stopped at here, and then make sure you select the right layer and hit delete. Right, so this is for that side and this is for this side. Okay, and then comes to the bottom, go to this layer and delete. Okay, and then see, we can select both of the layer and hide, so you can see the UV, right? And then we select both of these two layers and hit Command E. Hit Command E to merge them together, and then hit L key for the lasso tool, and we'll just grab this area for this roof. Okay, so make this area for selection, and then hit Command Shift I, so you'll invert the selection. If you're on Windows, use Control Shift I, or you can just go to Tool Menu, select Inverse. Alright, and then hit delete, so you'll delete everything outside of it. Hit Command D to deselect, or go to Tool Menu, select, deselect. Alright, so here we have this area, and then we'll move on to this side. So select this layer again and hit M key, and we'll grab an area that you're interested, and Command C, copy, Command V, paste, and Command T for free transform. And then when you rotate, you can hold down Shift K to block the angle that you rotate, and then we can, let's see, we can place it something like that. So this is the face and this is another face, and hit return key to confirm the change. And again, well, you hit M key for selection, area selection, and select this UV area. Alright, and then inverse selection and hit delete, so delete the things outside of it. Alright, so this will be our texture, the base texture. So this time when we actually I'll select these three layers and Command E to merge them to one layer. So this time when we apply this texture, back to our model, we will not repeat its UV. We will not come here and go to UV coordinate and repeat the UV. So I'll keep as a default as 1 and 1. Alright, just a little note, because we already made these are smaller tiles here. Okay, however, what I want to do before I import it here is, as you can see, I repeated this roof texture 9 times. You can tell, right, this is the same pattern 9 times. So I want to create something else on top of it to make it not look like it just repeated. So because this house is supposed to be in the forest, I want to put some moss. Okay, here we go. I want to put some moss on it. So here I get some texture images. So I would like to use this one. So this image only have 418 pixels. However, it should be enough. So because I'm going to repeat this image. So here's the image. And you can show the UV. Actually, what I'll do is I will temporarily put it on top of a mask so you can see the whole thing, right? And then I can just hold down Shift and grab it so I can make a duplication. Hold down Option key and Shift key and grab it. Alright, select both of the layer, hold on Option key, grab it, and then hold on Shift key. So you'll make a duplication and make sure it connect the edge. Alright, here. So now we duplicate it 5 times. Select all of them and hit Command G, put it in a folder, Command E to merge it, and then VK for a move, and then we'll just make a duplication one more time, one more. And select all of these layers, hit Command E for merge. See, the reason why I do this, for this map, I repeat it more times, right? And then I can try, let's see, if I try different blending mode, I think the darker color, it looks good, and I can decrease its opacity. Okay, so this is after, this is before the mouse texture, and this is after. See, now I added another texture and let it repeat more times, and as it multiply, actually I use a dark color to merge with my original texture. So now it creates different patterns, and you can hard tell that I'm repeat, right? So now I'll do more. So I'll grab this layer underneath the mask and the UV. So I will here. I will import a dirt texture into here. So I'll grab it here. And again, I will temporarily place it on the top. And maybe I'll just hit Command T to make it smaller, but not too small. Something like this. Okay, and hit VK, and then hold on Option key to move it. Hold on Shift key to keep its position, keep its axis, and then move it again. So select all of these 4 because they are rasterized smart object. So I'll hit Command G, put it in the group, Command E to merge them. And then this time I'll try, let's see, multiply, maybe one laner burn, so whatever you want. So I'll try multiply and lower down the opacity a little bit. And this time I only duplicate this layer, this texture 4 times. So now when I overlap them together, see, it looks really nice. You can't really tell the repeat. Alright, still not enough. I want to add one more. So here I will use this texture image and place it here. And then I'll hold on Option key and duplicate and place it in a different location. And here I would like to rotate it 90 degrees and place it something like that. And then select the original layer and duplicate it, and then rotate it 180 degrees, or maybe like this. Okay, tilted it. Alright, and then I'll select all these 3 layers, and hit Command G in group, Command E to merge them in one layer. Okay, and then I'll do multiply, and well, I can change the opacity later. However, here what I'll do is hit S key for stem, or you can go here. I'll use the first one, clone stem, and then hold on Option key. So basically you will duplicate. So hold on Option key and click here. Basically you will duplicate this area, and then release your mouse, and then click on this area. See, it will duplicate the selected area to here, right? And you can draw whatever you want. However, I don't want this. I'll just delete. I will duplicate this area actually, and I only want to draw a little bit pattern, different location. And then hit EK for eraser tool, okay, and right click for the brush. Make sure you choose a soft round pressure brush, and then we can make it bigger, the brush size bigger, and we can get rid of the boundaries here as well. So we don't want the hard edge, right? And then here you can come back again, hit S key for clone stem, and you can just duplicate some of the stuff to different location. So keep in mind, I'm not duplicating the whole thing. I'm only duplicating this layer. See, if I switch back to normal, this is what happens. So if I use the clone tool, click and duplicate, this is how it looks, right? However, because I'm in multiply mode, so this is how it looks. All right, so just for demonstration, this looks pretty good. And next step, we're going to use it to create a normal map and specularity map. And I'll put the whole thing together in a folder, and I'll see diffuse. So this is for a diffuse map. And I'll hide the UV. See, this is a UV reference. I'll hide it. And then I'll save it as a house roof underscore D. So this is a diffuse, and confirm it. And this will be, hold on. This will be the texture image I'm going to use in as Philo, so I'll mark it in yellow color. And then let's create a normal map. For a normal map, I only want the bumps based on this shape. I don't want this texture to kind of distract, you know, the programs analyze on the normal map. So I'll hide these layers, and then I will save this map. Okay, and I'll save this as, you know, only for normal, so I know I will delete this layer later. Alright, and then for specularity, which is a reflection, definitely it should reflect based on this detail texture, right? So I'll keep this texture on. See here, I already exported, so I'll use the diffuse map directly for specularity map. So you should understand the difference. Alright, so now let's do the normal map first. We'll use this map for a normal map. And I will node crazy bump. So this is the program, crazy bump. And then click on open image, open Photoshop file, and then I will node this image. Okay, open. And then it takes a few seconds to analyze. And as usual, I'll just select the left one. It's just my preferences. If you feel it's not incorrect, you can select the other one. So here for intensity, I always try about 25, so half of it. It's more, it's better. You know, 50 is more intense. Click on save normal to file. It's on the bottom, out of frame. All right. So here I will rename it by this one. It's format. So, oops, it doesn't allow me to copy paste. So I'll say house roof underscore normal. So this will be our normal map, and I will highlight it in yellow color because this is gonna be our final map. All right, and then go to the bottom, click on open another file. So this time I'll open this diffuse map, and click on open, and it'll analyze it again because this is a new map we imported. And we'll select this map again, and I'll switch it to specularity on the bottom. Okay, so there's something that I want to change. See, if I, on the bottom of preview window, you should see a plus sign to increase the size. Okay, so here I can just go to anywhere so you can see. Right now it's very blurry, the reflection, you know. So what I want to do is I want to change the texture influence. I want to increase it all the way to this side. So you can see it's very sharp, right? I want a sharp image for specularity because right now we have a lot of moss and dirt on the roof, right? However, here for brightness, I want to narrow it down because it shouldn't have that strong reflection. So maybe about 25. For this case, 25 should be good. Okay, for your model, it may be different. But here I'll just use 25 and click on save specularity to the folder. So here I'll put a S and then switch back. And this will be the final specularity map. And we've done for this one, and I'll just delete. Alright, and then we can go back to Maya, and I can create a new material, blend material. So for the new material, see, I already created a lot, so I'll just name it A1. Okay, and roof. So this is only for demonstration. And then for counter channel, we'll go to import a file, and we will not do UV coordinate for repeat the texture I mentioned earlier. All right, so we'll load the image. We'll load, oops, I forgot to drop these images into the source image folder here. So now it should be here. So select the diffuse map and go back to this material again, and go to the bound mapping channel and load a file texture, and we'll use it as a tangent normal because we are doing a normal map. For image, we'll load this normal map. Select the material again, and then go to the specularity and load a image, and here we'll load specular map. Alright, so now if you select your roof and right click on the material and apply, you should see a much detailed texture maps. Right? It looks like this face, as you can see, is upside down for my model, and I'll fix it. And this face as well. So this face, as you can see, as I put texture on it, is upside down. So I'll select this face and go back to its UV. Here it is. This one. And then I'll just go to modify and rotate one. Oops. Forgot one thing. So I have to separate them. So I'll go to edge, select this edge, and hold down Shift K and right click and cut. Okay, so now I cut it. It's not connected, right? And then I can select this face, modify and rotate, and then rotate again. All right, see, now it is correct. All right, same thing for the bottom here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like this one is incorrect. So I'll select this edge and hold on Shift and right click and cut. Okay, so you may have this issue on your own model, and this is the method to fix it. So I select this face, right, and then modify and rotate, and then rotate. Okay, and then go back to object mode. So now it looks good, right? The axis. This goes this way, this goes this way. All right, so that is for the roof. And we're going to move on to the wall. Here, let's see, go to show, isolate, view selected. And here I'll go back to the outliner. So this time I will actually hide everything. Well, I'll select everything first, and then hold on Command and deselect a roof and deselect a wall. Okay. And then I will go to display and hide selection. Alright, so now we only be able to see the wall. And what I'll do is the same, select the wall and go to UV texture, UV editor, go to image and UV snapshot and save it, save the UV. Alright, and then we'll come back here and I'll drop in the UV. So this is the UV of the wall. Okay, and we can go back to Photoshop. I'll save this one and I'll close, and then bring in the wall UV. Alright, and name it UV wall and create a new layer and fill with the white color for the background. So this is the same procedure, so I'll just move it very fast. And click on here and select modify and contract 15 pixels. Create a new layer and use this color and fill and name it as mask. So here, before I move forward, let's see, I got a lot of pieces. So I will only create a detailed texture on this face, which will be, let me show you, which will be here, should be this one, on the left side, left face, right? So that face. Okay, so I'll use this one as a demonstration. Let's see, Alright, so we can get started. First, I will select all of the layers and lock all of the layers, and then I can start with this texture image wall, the wood wall, and bring it in here, and then rotate it 90 degree, and then make it smaller, and just place it here. It depends on how big you want the frame to be. So maybe it can be just like this size or smaller, something like that. Alright, and hit return key to confirm the change. Okay, so since this is the first step, you can put it in front of the mask, and this is big, right? So you can just duplicate it and select both and duplicate it and bring it back, and select all four of them and duplicate it and bring it back. Okay, and then with the 4 remain selected, bring it back. Here we go. Alright, and then you can put all these wood wall texture in one folder, and Command E to merge them, and then continue this process. And select both of them and move and bring it back if there's a small gap, and all 4 of them and bring it back, all 4 of them and bring it back. And I think in last row I only need 1. Oops, I only need one of it. So okay, so now you can select all of these layers and hit Command E to merge them in one layer, right? And then you can place it under the UV wall. So that is the start point, the base. Okay, and from the base, what I want to do is first I want to add a third layer. So I go back here, and let's see which one I would like to use. Maybe I'll use this one. Okay, I'll bring the third 7 in here. Where is it? Third 7 in here, and then confirm the change. Size looks good, and then I'll place it in the corner. And then let's see, I can bring this one in here as well, rotate it in 90 degree, and then make it smaller. Okay, and yeah, should be good. So we have 2, and then put them in folder and Command E to merge them. And you can select this layer and hit S key for a clump tool and make it smaller, the brush. And you can select an area and you can just duplicate. Oops. Right, so we can duplicate some dirt around this area and here as well. And here I will duplicate this area to here. Okay, and then we'll change this layer type to multiply, and I can make it a little bit half transparent. Okay, so this is for the dirt for the bottom, and we can name it dirt 1, and then I can bring in a moss texture. So we have used this one, right? Moss 3, and this one will just try a different one. Maybe let's see, maybe this one. Okay, I like the texture, so bring it in and make it smaller and smaller like this. Alright, okay, so place one here and then duplicate it, and for the duplicated one I'll just rotate it so I have some variations, right? And place it here and select the original one, duplicate it, and then invert its direction like this, and then I'll put all of them in a group. Command E to merge them together, and then change the blending mode to, let's see which one looks good. Maybe overlay. Okay, for overlay, and then lower down the opacity a little bit, and then see here we have a gap, the boundary of the texture, and then I can just use the clump tool, the clump stand, hit S key for that, and then clump this area, and then we can just merge the gap. Alright, and then hit EK for eraser tool, and then we can make it smaller, and we can get rid of some of the area that we don't want. Okay, this shouldn't take the whole wall. So some area will be longer, some area will be shorter, the moss. Alright, let's see, overlay. Okay, overlay should be good, however, I'll just lower down its opacity a little bit, so I can still see the moss, but not very intense, right? And here I also, let's name it, I also want to add some sign in front of it. Okay, so I can come here and let's say okay, I'll just use this one and make it smaller like this, and then right click and rasterize the layer, and then select this whole area, and then shift command I to invert select and delete. Alright, and then change this layer type to, let's see, maybe multiply. Okay, keep opacity as 100. Alright, so this will be the sign here, and I still feel this wall, it doesn't look very good. The color is too new, because this should be in the forest, and this house is built about maybe at least 50 years, so it should be in this color, right? So now I can go back and let's see, we can use this the second one and drop it in, and we can make it cover the whole thing properly. So make it smaller, and we can put it on the top. Okay, and then move it and connect, and I'll repeat this process, so I'll make it very fast. Okay. Alright, so now I'm done. So select all of them and hit EK, and then I'll change the blending mode to multiply, and I'll press it down to something that is not obvious. Okay, so so this dirt will be on top of everything. I can increase a little bit opacity. So this dirt will be on top of everything, right? And you can place it under the UV wall, and you can also add some, let's see, some dirt around this area, so they on the top of this wall, so it should be around here, right, under the roof. You can add some dirt. So what I can do is I can come here, I can let's see, I can drop this texture image in and make it smaller and rotate it in 90 degree. Place one here, and rotate it, and place this one here maybe. Okay, and then duplicate this one, and this time I'll place it in this way, maybe. Okay, and then I'll select all of them and Command G group, Command E to merge them, and then I can, get rid of some of these areas, and you can also change it to multiply so you can see how it looks. Okay, as you can see, I spilled out to other areas. So what I'll do, since this is only for this face, I'll just use a laser tool to select this area. Hold down Command key to minus some of the area that you accidentally selected. Okay, and here as well. Alright, so here one thing I want you to do is, after you select this area, I would encourage you to create a group with a mask. Here I can hit M key and hold on Shift key to add a selection. So this will be this face, right? This particular area. So what I can do it, see this sign, this layer, this moss, and this dirt is only for this face, right? And also this one is only for this face. Okay, so I can put these four in one group. And since this layer and this layer is for the whole thing, the entire thing, I can just leave them out of the group, and I can tag them as maybe red color. So the red color layer will be applied to the whole thing, and then this will be only the face. So let's say left wall, outside, because we also have inner side. So outside left wall, and then with this area selected, I can hit this button. It will create a mask. See, it will immediately. Wait a second. Let me show the layers so you can see the difference. See, these are the spilled out, right? So I'll select this folder and click on this button, so it will mask out everything outside of my selection. Okay. So I would like you to do this for your texturing project. And now, as you're done with this, you can move on to other faces. However, I will stop at here. Alright, so you can hide the UV after you finish all the wall, and then you can sieve the whole thing. Command Shift S and save it as a JPEG image, and you can rename it house wall underscore D as a diffuse. So this will be the diffuse map, right? And since this is gonna be the final, where is it? It's playing hide and seek with me. Come on. Alright. So this image, I will show it as a yellow color. Okay, so this is the wall. And then for the normal map, the same as what I've done before, I will hide all these dirt layers. Okay, only have this bottom base texture layer showing up, and I'll save it as JPEG and only use for normal. Right? And for the specularity, I will keep all of these textures to generate specularity, because these textures matters for reflection, right? All right, so I'll come here. So I'll select this one. I'll make sure go back to Crazy Bump and import our this texture image for normal map. And then take a few seconds to node to analyze. And as usual, I'll choose the left one. All right, and here intensity, I'll do 25 and save normal map, save to file, house wall, no, normal map, and for normal map, and then open the diffuse map. Okay, and we'll use the diffuse map for our specularity map. Alright, so select this shape and go to specularity, and same will increase right? The texture influence, so you can see very clear. These are the dirt we painted. It will not reflect any light because here it marked as black color, right? We can lower down the brightness to about, okay, around 20, I think 23 should be good. And I'll save it as the specularity map. Alright, and then we can come here and create a new burning material. And we can rename it as A1. This is a wall. Okay, and this time we'll bring in our color map. Oh, I forgot to move them in. So mark them as yellow color because these are what we created. Bring it in here, and then in Maya we'll be able to see it. So this is a diffuse map. Select it again and go to the bound map and tangent space normal and normal map. Select it again and go to specular color and file specular. Okay, so now if I select the model and apply a wall texture to it, this is how it looks, right? And keep in mind, so now because we have a texture, specific texture image for the whole UV, for the whole model, so this time don't repeat its U and V texture here. Okay, so don't go to its UV coordinates and repeat it to UV, so just to keep it as a default. Oh, I think I selected the wrong one. So the wall, and then here, see, the new material I created, the U and V is still 1, so I keep it as 1, because right now we already have a specific maps. Right, so this is a procedure you're going to use to partition the texturing, and you can always go to light and create a point light and just examine how your texture looks, with the lights. See, these are, if I get closer to the wall, and these are the bumps on the roof, and the reflection also looks good. Okay, and then we can add one more light to this side, and we can take a look of it. My computer got really slow because right now I'm recording and doing the lighting. Okay, as I see, the bumps and the reflection all looks good. So this is the whole workflow of polishing the texture on your model. So you can follow this workflow and finish the whole thing.